Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be doing my everyday makeup routine. There is no lashes, there's no lipstick. They're all products that I really love, that work for me, that will stay on all day. So if you want to find out how I do my everyday makeup, then keep on watching. So I always start out doing my brows, and if you want to see my brow routine, I'll link it down below. But the next step for me would be to prime. So the first product I'm going to be using is the MAC Strobe Cream in Gold. This is an amazing product if you want that really nice glowy dewy skin. So just popping this on the outer perimeters of my face, everywhere I would typically highlight, so on the cheeks, cupid's bow, forehead, down the nose, and your chin. I'm going to be blending that away with my Zoeva Petite Stippling Brush. I like to go onto my ears, and I just love the goldy tinge it gives you as well. It's my two favourite things, looking golden and looking dewy. So once that's blended away, I'm going with my Loreal Infallible Mattifying Base. This isn't actually a pore filler, but it does act as one because it is a mattifying primer. I feel like it really does shrink my pores, so I just pop it everywhere that I want my pores to shrink down, so just in my T-zone. Now that's all in, I'm just going to go in with my MAC Fix Plus and just spray this all over my face. I love the smell of this product. As that's drying down, I'm just going to add my Tarte Shape Tape onto my eyelids. I'm just going to prime my eyes, ready for some light eyeshadow. This is in the shade Fair, but this is way too light for me. I got the wrong shade, so sorry about that. Blending that away with the Real Techniques Beauty Sponge. See what I mean about the wrong colour? Don't worry about that though, it's going to be fixed up in a second. Just going to go over with my Rimmel Stay Matte Powder in the shade 001 Transparent, patting this on my eyelid with the Contour Brush by Real Techniques. So setting those lids. Just quickly, I've got a makeup wipe here. I'm just going to take off that excess of that Tarte Shape Tape from under my eye. So just taking the Modern Renaissance palette, I'm just going to do a really simple look with this one. I actually use a brush in this palette. I think it's perfect to do that transition shade. I'm going to be taking Golden Ochre on this brush and then blending into that crease. I think this shade is a perfect transition shade. Just blend it out nicely. So taking the next shade, Burnt Orange, on a deluxe crease brush. Blending that right into the crease. This brush is amazing. I feel like it does all the work for me. So you can just stop here, but just for a little bit more definition, I'm going in with Rilga, tiniest little bit, and this is just on a Nude by Nature brush, really nice fluffy brush. Focusing on that outer corner and then bringing it really closely onto that crease and backwards again. So that's it on the eyes for me. You can go ahead and add more colour, but for me, with an everyday glam, I just wanted a little bit of colour on my eyes. Just going to be cleaning that up with a baby wipe or a makeup wipe. So onto foundations. I'm using two foundations today and mixing them. I'm going to be using the L'Oreal True Match in shade 6.N Honey and the Milani Conceal and Perfect in shade Sand Beige. Just make sure you really shake up the True Match product. It is quite watery and sometimes the oils separate in the product, so make sure you give it a good shake before you apply. The reason I add in the Milani is because it is a thicker product and I find that the True Match on its own slips off my skin a little bit and needs a little bit more coverage. So just adding one little pump of the Milani into the True Match. Blending that away with a Real Techniques Beauty Sponge. Oh, I find that so satisfying. Look at that beautiful luminous glow. Right up into the ears and down the neck. We do not want a line. If you haven't tried mixing foundations, definitely give it a go, especially if you're not satisfied with the product's coverage. I find that if a product doesn't have the best coverage, adding in a drop or two of a foundation that does have good coverage really helps. Who else has trouble trying not to get it in their hair? I feel like blonde girls are the only ones who understand that. Because I see my friends with brown hair or dark hair just go all out into their hairline. We can't do that. So now for my favourite concealer. This is the Fit Me Concealer by Maybelline in the shade Fair Clair. Just applying that under my eyes, really getting up under the tear duct so I can get those purple tones, and flicking it out underneath that eyeshadow so I get a nice effect. onto the chin, cupid's bow, point on the nose, and then down the bridge. I'm almost out. Blending that away with the sponge. Another thing I really like to do to brighten up my face is add a little drop of the Tarte Shape Tape. Definitely because I got the wrong colour, I think this helps out a lot. But just the tiniest amount like this and blending it out. I don't use Tarte Shape Tape on its own under my eyes, I find the product too thick. But adding it, just little drops like that, I really like. To bake, I use the Dermablend Professional Loose Setting Powder. This is really amazing. Nikki Tutorials really recommended this, so of course I went out and bought it because I copy everything she does. Taking that on another sponge, preferably one that's a little bit thinner and can really get up underneath your eye. Making sure you haven't creased under your eye, we don't want to be setting creases. Dabbing my sponge into the product and then setting underneath where I just laid down the concealer. We will be wiping this away, so don't worry. This is what you call baking. Laugh lines. Not too much on the laugh lines. Something I like to do is bake the nose. Just running powder straight down the middle. Make sure it's as straight as possible. And then running it on the sides of the nose with that powder, meeting at the tip. This creates a really nice effect to the nose and gives the illusion of a smaller nose. You definitely don't have to do this step. Set the cupid's bow. Another little effect I like to do to be a little bit extra is to just follow underneath your jawbone. This really makes my cheekbones pop. Now going back to my Real Techniques contour brush, I'm going to be dabbing into that Dermablend powder and then setting my forehead. I don't like to go in with the Beauty Blender on my forehead. I just find it when it's dry, it doesn't apply very well. Sometimes you can add your powders with a damp beauty sponge, but I prefer not to because it soaks up too much of my product. So that's baked for a good minute now. I wouldn't go any longer than this. I want to brush it away, and this is the no-name brush from Kmart, most likely. Just a big old fluffy brush and just wiping it away to the side and then sort of trying to get the excess to set the rest of the face. Next step is to powder the face, and I'm going to be using the Australis Fresh and Flawless. This is in the shade Medium Tan. Patting that on with a Real Techniques powder brush. So now I'm going to be contouring, and I'm going to be using the Hoola Benefit Bronzer and taking that on a Nude by Nature angled brush. Don't want to be doing too much of this. This is very pigmented, and sometimes I find it might come off a little bit red on my skin tone. So following that natural contour line, if you're having trouble finding your natural contour line, I would recommend starting at the top of your ear and connecting it down towards the outer perimeter of your mouth, but sort of going halfway. You don't want to be going the full way. Well, I don't anyway. I just think that doesn't look very natural. Who's natural here though? Just lightly going on the outer perimeters of my forehead, but really steering away from that helmet head look. So very lightly. So going underneath the lip, this creates the illusion of bigger lips. And then of course the jawline. So when you're doing your jawline, always make sure you're dragging it down the neck as well. You really just don't want this really distinct line where you've tried to contour. Now for my favourite bronzer in the whole wide world, this is the MAC Give Me Sun. This is a little bit of an orange shade, but if you just go in lightly, it gives this beautiful bronze glow look. Taking that on a Real Techniques blush brush. The angle of this brush is amazing for bronzing. I think it really hugs those cheekbone areas and just disperses the product in the places you really want it to go. So this goes on all the outer perimeters of my face. But trust me, a little bit of this product goes a long way. Going back to the Hoola bronzer, I'm just taking a little sleek makeup brush. This is generally used for eyes, but it's just a little brush like this. Tapping it into the Hoola bronzer and then taking it down my nose, connecting it up onto the brow bone and then into my eyeshadow so I can contour my nose. circle motions, blending that down. But just remember, not too much of this product. As I said before, sometimes on my skin tone, it can come off a little bit red. And then right on the tip, connecting each side, and then adding a little bit right in the middle of my cupid's bow. So next step is blush. I have two favorite blushes. One is the MAC Warm Soul, which I put on over the top of the Essence Silk Blush in shade 10 Adorable. So what I do is I lay down the Essence blush first. I'm just taking that on a fluffy, sleek makeup brush, starting right on the cheek and then blending upwards. This is a really beautiful pink. And then going over the top of that with the MAC Warm Soul. This Warm Soul has really nice gold reflex in it, so it gives the appearance of a nice healthy glow. Now it's time to do a little bit of a cleanup. I'm taking the Banana Dreams by W7. This is an incredibly cheap product you get from Chemist Warehouse. I've tried a lot of banana powders. I've tried high-end, drugstore. This one takes the cake. It is a loose powder, so I just take a little bit on that Real Techniques contour brush, tapping onto the lid, and then running it right under where I placed that contour before. This really cleans it up and it makes that nice sharp contour line. Only a little bit, but we are sweeping it away. Take it right down near your lip. Brightening up underneath the eyes with this banana powder. And then right in the middle of the forehead as well. I really love the look of a bright forehead. Something else I do, which is just a little bit extra, is I go in with a little fine tip brush. This is just a Nude by Nature brush. And I'm dipping into that banana powder once again and then making a nice little line down my nose. And this once again is creating the illusion of a thin nose. Going back into the Modern Renaissance palette, I'm just taking the shade Raw Sienna and I'm taking that on the brush it came with, but the other side this time. So just doing my under eye, starting at the outer corner, running it towards the inner corner. And then taking a little bit of burnt orange and focusing right on the outer corner and then blending it in towards the inner corner again, but really trying to shift that focus to the outside. And then dipping into Real Gu. Really just keeping this close to the outer corner and connecting it to the outer V. Now just going in with the Zoeva Soft Definer brush and really blending that. Now that's done, I'm going to be taking this No Name brush from Kmart and blending away that banana powder. If you're at this step and you feel like the banana powder really took over that bronze look, just go back in with your bronzer and fix it up. But what I like to do now is, instead of adding my mascara and then setting my face, I like to set my face first, let it soak in, then apply my highlighter and then go to my mascara, because I find that when I set my face after my mascara sometimes comes off, so I like to set it beforehand. To set my face, I'm going to be using my favourite Mario Bedescu setting spray. This one's with the Aloe Herbs and Rose water. I find this one the best. I've got all the other setting sprays by Mario Bedescu, but this one is just my favourite. Another thing about this setting spray is not only can you use it as a setting spray, but you can use it in your skincare routine. I know I do. I use it when I get out of the shower. I use it before a day of work or a day at uni if I have no makeup on. It just really makes my skin feel nice and refreshed. I know there's plenty of good ingredients in here with the Aloe Herbs and Rose water, and it smells amazing. To highlight my brow bone, my inner corners, my nose, and my cupid's bow, I use the Mary Luminizer. And you just take that on a really small brush and then sweeping over your cupid's bow, making sure you're not going past the point of your cupid's bow because you don't want to have the look of a little milk mustache. On the tip of the nose, right at the point to create that really cute button nose, and then pressing that in, applying it in the bridge of my nose, not all the way down. And then, of course, the brow bone to lift those brows up. And then the inner corners. When doing your inner corners, try to connect it up into your eyeshadow. I really don't like the look of just this plonked bit of highlighter, but if you like that look, go ahead and do it. So you want to be applying highlighter onto your face after that setting spray has just gone dry. So it is a little bit wet, but not too wet. Trust me, do not add highlighter onto a wet face. But just as it's gone dry, add in your highlighter. Today I'm going to be using the MAC Soft and Gentle, and just taking that on a no-name Kmart brush. I think this needs a bloody good wash. Oh, doing like a C shape up, connecting it to that brow bone highlight, and then a little bit on the forehead just above the brow bone. I love a glowy forehead. On the chin. Nostrils. I like to glue everywhere. Don't forget the ears, guys. You don't have to. I love highlighting my ears. So kind of everywhere I've applied bronzer, I'm going to be going over with the MAC Gold Deposit. This creates a really beautiful golden glow. And just when you thought the highlight was over, I'm bringing out another one. This is the Medusa's Makeup Highlighter. It doesn't have a shade, I'm very sorry, but this is an amazing loose pigment highlighter. You have to go online and get it. It is called Medusa's Makeup. This is a vegan company, a very small indie brand, but the glow in this is incredible. So taking the smallest bit of this loose pigment and just starting right in the middle. Oh wow. Every time it blows me away. Oh wow. Oh my gosh. Wow. And I think I'm applying this with the Real Techniques setting brush. The name has rubbed off, but I'm fairly sure that's the name of it. Really trying to tap off all the excess and then going up on my forehead. I love the look of a glowy forehead. I told you I like to look glowy. That highlight though. Wow. And then before adding mascara, just going in one more time with my Murray Bedescu setting spray to set all the highlighter in. Just before adding my mascara, I'm just going to be adding in this Essence Long Lasting Eye Pencil in Stay Highlight on my bottom liner. This isn't a white, this is a cream colour, but it really, really opens up those eyes and makes you look more awake. And of course, it's super, super cheap. So now it's time for the last step. I'm taking my Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara. When coating mascara, start right at the root and do wiggling motions all the way to the tip. This effect will not only separate them, but it will create long, beautiful lashes. So one eye and the eye without mascara. Massive difference. A lot of people don't like the look of clumpy lashes, but I actually do. I try to avoid it as much as I can, obviously, but I don't mind it. So I lied, that wasn't the final product. This is the Sports Girl Fiber Lash Mascara. Now I have tried many fiber lash mascaras, but this one is amazing. The fibers don't go all over your face, they stay on all day and they really work. There are some fiber lash mascaras out there that are absolute crap, but this one is amazing. So there we have it. That is my everyday glam, the final look. It was simple, easy, lots of drugstore, a few high-end, but all amazing products. Trust me, I have tried them out many, many times and they have never let me down. As I said before, I will leave my brow routine in the link below. I know I did start off without showing you my brows, but I have got an in-depth video of me doing my brows with what products I use and all that kind of thing, so that will be in the link down below. So if you have any questions at all, a question in general or a question about this look, leave it down in the comment section and I'll be sure to get back to you. If you have any ideas of videos that you want me to do, then leave that in the comment section as well and I'll be sure to get to that. But I'm really eager to know what's in your everyday glam. Have we got some similar products or completely different? What are your tried and trues? What do you recommend to me? But that's it from me today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe to my channel. That would mean so much to me. And with that, I'm going to leave. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye!